Alright, Shalom, Shalom. Want to give all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim out there spreading this truth like wildfire. And Shalom to the real sisters out there. Alright, today I'm doing a live, with just stick with the cam off, because my hair ain't in the best shape, I don't really, look like too presentable right now, but I gotta bring it out, you know. So basically, I gotta bring it out. So this is basically, I titled this live "The Many Trains of the Deceitful Man," and more prophecies coming to pass because, you know, I've been out for a while, and uh, phone with that for a while and shit, I ain't been able to do videos, but now since I'm back, I got my phone back on and all that. Now I'm able to do videos again. And so I came on here and, brothers were posting videos about how basically, this so-called pandemic tsunami in India is a complete fabrication. It's not, none of it is true. Like the picture that these devils show that's supposed to be of this chick dying in the streets in India is a fucking lie. You know, it's made up. Just like everything else about this pandemic, man. Just like everything else about this pandemic, this scamdemic, right? This too, this too, this too. It's they hype this crown roll. They hype it up to be something that it's not, basically, and do whatever it takes to get you to fear, get you to believe that it's this big threat, this big boogeyman that this devil is going to protect you from. And this is what this devil does. Let me get a precept on that. This devil being that forger of lies. You know, which means he literally, he this is what he does. He puts together lies. He puts together lies. That's what he is good at. And let me get it. It's in Job chapter 13. Job chapter 13 and 4. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Yeah, these devils, they're forgers of lies, and they are all physicians of no value. You know, hey, and what is a physician called? What is the word that is used? You know, that so-called means you're a physician, a doctor, right? But what does doctor go back to? What does the word doctor mean? What is one of its definition, right? Doctor definition. What is one of its definitions? Verb, to change the content or appearance of a document or picture in order to deceive falsely. The reports could have been doctored. Yep, yep. Change the content or appearance of, yep. Yup. Deceitful, deceitful shit, man. Oh, there's another one. Cricket, baseball. Tamper with the ball so as to affect its movement when pitched. So deception, basically. The real meaning of doctor. They say it comes from those to teach. But also, but if it's also means deceive, you know, also means to deceive, and also, you're teaching wrongdoing, wrongdoing. Well, teaching bullshit, basically teaching bullshit. So yeah, it shows you that this man, this devil is a physician of no value, and he's also a forger of lies. It shows you both. You know, and this is actually another example of that. And where's that window where I had this up? I had this live up. Looking for it. Hold on, I can. All right, it's right here. All right, but basically, yeah, man. Another example of this devil being that forger of lies spoken of in Job chapter 13, verse 4. Job, I believe, was actually talking to his so-called friends. One of them being Eliphaz Temanite. T-Man. He was a son of Esau, I believe. Yeah. So, he was an Edomite. And of course, that's what they do. They deceive, man. They lie and deceive. You know, lie and deceive. And I tell this lie the many trains of the deceitful man. Because that's exactly what Esau is, and it's a verse that I'm quoting. The many trains of the deceitful man. I was also meditating on, how this devil, got everybody deceived. How basically, how this devil basically got, used deception to accomplish a lot of his agenda. One of its many ways that he deceives too. Just many methods that he uses. Ecclesiasticus 11 and 29. Bring not every man into thine house, for the deceitful man hath many trains. Deceitful man have many trains. They're gonna, and that's, you know, hey, that's Esau, man. Esau is that deceitful man, and they're one of his train. He does have many trains, many ways to deceive you. One of it, incrementalism, Hegelian dialect. The all these agendas, man. All these agendas. The feminist agenda, how was it pushed? Incrementally. They pushed it as oh, we're just gonna let them have the right so-called vote, right? And then from that, it was, oh, the right to work same jobs as a man. And then from that, oh, we gotta give them benefits, because they're working hard and shit. They're working hard, and we need to help them out. help the help the struggling mothers out, But really, it was to take the man out the household because the woman would sell out the man for them extra benefits. Really ended up being for that, and you could see the effects that it had mainly on our people, mainly on so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and you Israelite foreigners that look like the other nations. You Israelite foreigners that be like under the speckled bird, looking like the other nations as well. You know, which is by design as well. Would affect our people the most because our people are under those Deuteronomy 28 uh, verses 15 to 68 curses. Causing us to be at the bottom of society, basically. In the hoods, the ghettos, the projects, the barrios, the reservations. You know, wherever Jake is being oppressed. Always at the bottom of society. So Esau's agendas, they're gonna affect our people the most. You know, and Esau designs them that way. And so yeah, one of his that's an example of this devil's of one of his trains. Another one would be that incrementalism, Hegelian dialect. Another one, and the media plays a large role in that. These are psyops, and the media plays a large role in these psyops. To get you, hey, these are mind tricks. Jedi mind tricks, but they ain't the Jedi's though. Psyops, psychological operations. And that's also an example of that. Sometimes this devil will just make it up. Like in this devil took a picture of some event that had happened that had nothing to do with the Rona. It was in India. It ain't had nothing to do with the Rona. And this devil, he basically he took it. He basically, it was like, okay, he took, well, it had nothing to do with the Rona. It had nothing to do with the Rona. He took it and he said it was about the Rona, and it used it as proof that there was a Rona tsunami. A CVID 1984, CVID 1984 tsunami. When when that picture turns out that it don't even have nothing to do with that. That's another example. This devil will use the media to do that. And this devil has done that shit several times. This devil actually tried to say that there was like a major pandemic in in fucking Italy way back. And he used a picture from the New York hospital, I believe. I believe it was like that, either that or it was vice versa. I believe it was, he used a picture from a New York hospital. I believe it was that and not vice versa, but it could have been vice versa. Because they were also pushing that there was pandemic in NYC and shit. This devil been caught using using dummies and shit, and saying that it's people with the Rona. Hyping up the numbers and everything. It's been found at the hospitals that say that they have large cases of Rona, get more money. So they're being bribed to say that more people got Rona. Basically put it down on their fucking on their death certificate. Oh, he also died of the Rona. And they'll use this technicality. Oh, he was in a hospital, which is a large area, a lot area that where a lot of people, contract the 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 CVID 1984. A lot of people, contract the Crown Royal 1984 over here. So we're just gonna put down Rona too. They'll do that shit as well. They've been caught with the with the 1984 test as well. They've been caught with that as well. The nose jabs, right? They've been caught. They've been caught. Push, push. Well, they've been caught. They've been caught. It's a lot. Hey, with just that, the test, overwhelmingly being wrong. You know, overwhelmingly showing false positives. The them putting fucking more gallons, fucking nanoparticles in them tests, in the nose jabs, that's why we call it that, and pushing it into your brain. That all that shit been found out. This devil been exposed. And now he got exposed again, He got caught slipping. It goes into, this devil's deception is being weakened, because there is because access to truth, there is too free. The he some you someone can hold up. Someone could just look this shit up, man, and you could just go online and you could look this shit up, you know, and you could find out the truth about this devil's agenda. From his own people blowing the damn whistle on him, snitching on him. Dropping dime on him and shit. His own people, you know. And so you could find that shit online, you know. That's also all according to prophecy. It's in Psalms, and where it talks about. Oh, let me get this: the man that I confederacy, because it be his own people. It be his own people exposing them. Just like for a while, it's been our people fucking us over. It's been our own people working with Esau or the damn devil to fuck our people over. Now shit's starting to it's shit's flipping on them. The tables are starting to turn. This devil is getting a taste of that cup. You know, Let me get Habakkuk. Also this Habakkuk 2:15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken, also that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Verse 16. Thou art filled with shameful glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spoon shall be on thy glory. Yep. You know, they did that. They gave the neighbor drink, man, and it's speaking symbolically of these philosophies coming out this place. These Babylonian philosophies, man. Uh, these these destructive philosophies, really. Like so-called democracy, like that, like shit, feminism, shit, shit, homosexuality, shit, all that, homosexuality, that LGBT nonsense, and include that, the tranny transformer agenda as well, you know, so-called capitalism, so-called capitalism as well, all these agendas, all these agendas that, that's how he forward his agenda, by pushing these philosophies throughout the world and shit, that are basically, they're being compared to a strong drink, make they make you when you on them philosophies, it's like you drunk but not with strong drink. That puttest thy bottle to him and makest him drunken. Also that thou mayest look on their nakedness. See, they go around the world exporting that shit, and then whenever and then whenever these whenever their country turns to shit, what does this devil do? This devil clowns on that country. This devil will call that country a shithole country. You know, when they're the damn devil that turned it into a shithole country, and the people there, they was good, they was straight, and then these damn devils, man, they came over there with their bullshit philosophies and shit, and they'll force it too. They'll do it on they'll try any other way, and if it don't work, hey, that one book, Confessions of an Economic Hitman, tell you about what they do, man. You know, and if all their deception don't work, then what they do, they grab the sword, man. That's what they do. They send in the jackals. They send in the jackals, and then if that doesn't work, and then that's when you have them so-called revolutions. When that's their jackals, that's their jackals that they paid off, and if that don't work, that shit gets suppressed. What they say, oh, this country is ruled by a fucked up dictator that's doing his own people wrong. Look how they doing them. We gotta help these people. We gotta send in the military. And then they send in the military. But it's like basically it's like a playbook that this devil has, that he uses around the world. Yeah. Economic hitman, yup. So yeah, I'm good. There's a little summary right here. I'm gonna read it because it's so kind of wait, no, don't even. You probably have to read this shit. Well, definitely, of course. But yeah, okay. Let me just read this part right here. Economic hitmen, quote unquote, John Perkins writes, are highly paid professionals who cheat countries around the world out of trillions of dollars. Their tools include fraudulent financial reports, rigged elections, payoffs, extortions, sex, and murder. They play a game as old as empire, but one that has taken on terrifying dimensions during this time of globalization. Yep. Yo, John Perkins should know as an economic hitman for an international consulting firm. He convinced developing countries to accept enormous loans. You know this also this right here. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him and makest him drunken. Also that thou mayest look on the nakedness. Yup. You know, took down the defenses and shit. He convinced developing countries to accept enormous loans and to funnel the money to U.S. corporations. The American government, international aid agencies, aid agencies then requested their pound of flesh, quote unquote, including access to natural resources, military cooperation, and political support. You know, so then that came. That them countries ended up in debt, and that shit. Yeah, they ended up in debt. And then they demanded the collateral. That's how it worked. Basically, like some mafia type shit. Yeah. But these devils, being exposed. Hey, they being exposed they being exposed. Hey, y'all being exposed. I know y'all devils listening. Being exposed by this technology that they allowed to get out there, thinking it was gonna spread, thinking that it was a good idea because they could spread more of that wickedness, more that that Babylon juice around the world and shit, but it ended up being for you dan for your you devil's downfall. It ended up being for your devil's downfall. Verse 16: Thou art filled with shameful glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be upon thy glory. All this shit that these devils did, that these devils are behind, that these devils currently doing, that these devils are planning to do, being exposed on the internet. Real proof out there. Proof is out there. You want to look. You want to do it. You want to dig. Shit, you want to find it. Yeah. Hey, verse 17: For the violence of Lebanon shall cover thee, and the spoil of beasts which made them afraid, because of man's blood, and for the violence of the land of the city and all that dwell therein. So, hey, the violence of Lebanon, right? Man, what the fuck is this shit? The violence of Lebanon, right? Shall cover thee. Hey, one example of that is literal, bruh. One example of that is hey, that Beirut bombing, which they wanted to say it was a chemical reaction or whatever. Nah, it was a bombing. And it was a bombing by the 1948ers over there. The bombing by them. Yeah, and it's covering them. And also, this is speaking symbolically because when you go to Isaiah 14, what does it say? Let me get it. Say something about the cedars of Lebanon. Isaiah 14 and 8. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, Since thou art laid down, no fellers come up against us. Which that kind of goes into these devils basically, going around, chopping down all the trees and shit. Goes into that, when you want to look at it literally, but symbolically, verse 9, shows you. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It had raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. Yo, yeah, so and also, the Bible, compares men and compares different nations to plants or trees. Throughout the scriptures, I say even, that even shows you what the Genesis story was going into, in the Garden Eden and all that. That even shows you that. That even shows you that. Even though the earth was fresh at that time, she also had could have been lush as well, but hey, symbolically, it was also symbolic. It was also symbolic. But yeah, the violence of Lebanon shall cover thee, and the spoil of beasts which made them afraid, because of man's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the sea, and all that dwell therein, all that shit being exposed, all these plans of Esau being exposed, For I have made Esau bare. Jeremiah 40, Jeremiah 49, and Jeremiah 49 and 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not, And he is not, because this devil ain't gonna be he's gonna flee away as a vision of the night, from all this. This is the beginning of his downfall. Like all this is resulting in his downfall. Because what is the Most High Yahweh doing? He's exposing, basically, he's presenting the evidence using his witnesses. He's presenting the evidence to the world that this man is the damn devil that the Bible speaks of. And that he gotta go down. And then, once, all everyone that need to believe, all the elect is sealed up, all the elect is sealed up. The 2/3 is sealed to be destroyed. They're marked for destruction, and the elect is sealed to be saved. Once the elect of the 130 have been sealed, you know, you know, to be saved, the full numbers come in. That's when the Most High Yahweh, He's gonna carry out the judgment, let loose some four winds. Let me get to let me shit slacking. Alright, I'm back, y'all. Alright, so let me get to where I was at. Let me get to where I was getting into. What I was getting into. Alright, so, Another reason I ain't been able to go live like that. I've been cutting my live stories because of this affliction. Like Psalms, where it talk about they tongue falling upon themselves. Psalms also want to get, the wicked fall into their own net. Ain't this called the internet? Hey, let me get that. The wicked fall into their own net. Also, you could, hey, also, yeah, the wicked fall into their own nets. Yep, Psalms 141 and 10. Yep, let the wicked fall into their own nets. Yep, yeah, Psalms 141, hold on, Psalms 141 and 10. Let the wicked fall into their own nets. Where whilst that I would thought escape. While hey, we escaped their traps, we escaped their snares, the gins and nets. The wicked themselves fall into it. Both Esau, Edom, the wicked, and our other enemies. You know, hey, these heathens and the wicked 2/3 of our nation, and that's happening. The wicked are falling into their own net. Something else is happening with these protests. It is, Esau is funding the opposition. And Esau is basically doing confessions of an economic hitman job on his own queendom, bro. If you look at it, that this devil is basically doing that. This devil is basically, yeah, he's doing that shit over here. Of course, trying to, cause this devil's he's basically trying to wreck all these small businesses, trying to fuck their shit up, so that basically, basically it's a part of that great reset, man. It's part of that great reset. So this devil think he doing something. We're basically demolishing his own kingdom, to build a new one. But by doing that, how he doing it? He dividing his own kingdom. He's causing it to fall. Because this devil, he ain't that smart. I mean, he's wise to do wickedness, but he ain't that smart, as he makes himself out to be. The devil he's cunning, sneaky, that's all. And that's all, he's just real sneaky. But if this devil was constantly getting exposed, then he can't really move like he needs to move. Then this devil he's pretty much stuck, That's when he's at his weakest. This devil then, he has to he doesn't want you to think he's the devil. He wants you to think he's the good guy. So that's when he has to be the bad guy. he has to he has to get that sword out, when he is constantly being exposed, like kind of reminds me of the Scooby Doo movies when the villain after he got exposed, he was like he was like if it wasn't for you meddling kids and that fucking dog basically. well, hey, if it wasn't for you meddling Israelites, Edomites, Esau be like, if it wasn't for you meddling prophets. And even his own people that's dropping dime on him. Psalm 64. And this is how he's hiding us from the secret counsel of the wicked, by the way. Hear my voice, O power, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Verse 2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Verse 3, who whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Verse 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. Verse 5, they encourage themselves. So they plot. Verse 5, they encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Because they meet under cover of darkness and shit. Verse 6, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Yep. They're conspiracies. These different crafty counsels that they carry out, man. Like yeah, all these conspiracies, they're very fucking intricate. They're very deep, you know. Hey, feminism, you look into it's like a fucking rabbit hole looking into that. The homosexual agenda, fucking rabbit hole looking into that. The hey the war agenda, why is people, going into these countries and shit. Rabbit hole. Looking in that. It's a whole rabbit hole, Deep. False flags. Rabbit hole. You know. Shit, hey, the fact that they the cover up of who the real Israelites are, rabbit hole. And who the Edomites are, rabbit hole. Yep. Hey, they're yeah, they're the thought, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep because they accomplish a diligent search, man. They are always thinking about some wicked shit to do. They stay up. They stay up thinking about some wicked shit to do. They stay up thinking about ways to fuck up people over. You know, you know what keeps our people up at night is not the same shit that keeps them up at night. But all their wicked plans is being exposed. Hey, keeping them up even more. The fact that their plans are being exposed, it's making them lose sleep. They're like, oh shit right now. Verse 7, but Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow. Yep. Suddenly shall they be wounded. Yep. That verse 8, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. You know, basically, basically they gonna snitch on themselves, bro. Basically, that's what it means. They gonna spill the guts on themselves. And you've seen that happen. You've seen these different Edomite whistleblowers coming out with it. What it most likely is due to private vendettas that they have. But still, through these private vendettas, I mean, through these private vendettas, these personal beefs that they have with these devils, man, with these top elite devils, that's how it's getting out. And you may even have this. You may even have, wouldn't be surprised either, elite families that's plotting on each other, man. Because one elite family want to rule the new world order, want to have more power, so they doing shit to fuck their other family over, and throw a wrench in their plans. Verse 9, and all men shall fear, and shall declare the work of power, and the right, for they shall wisely consider of his doing, because yeah, because these devils is being exposed. They're dropping dime on each other. So now, when we go out there and say, oh, this self-proclaimed so-called white man, he's the damn devil, bro, that the Bible speaks of. The wicked rule the world, all that. And they're trying to lock you people, throw y'all in FEMA camps, bro. They trying to fucking starve y'all out, introduce push a engineer famine, trying to starve y'all out. Got plans to put martial law got plans for martial law, put fucking UN Gurkha troops on the streets and shit. And then the shit come out, and the evidence come out, proving what we saying, proving that, yeah, there is being a prophet among you. Verse 19, hey, but only the elect are gonna get it. The 2/3, they're gonna, after this famine of the word hit, and after all the elect get still and that famine of the word hit, and this shit really start hitting the fan, then they're gonna be like, oh fuck, we should have listened. Verse 10, the righteous shall be glad in Yahweh, and shall trust in him, all right in heart shall glory. But it's gonna be shoulda, woulda, coulda, cause at that point, really they couldn't have, really it wasn't set up for them to get it. But this is how that played out, that the 2/3 was gonna be destroyed. They're gonna be cut off, and the 1/3 is gonna be sealed up. The one third, the remnant that was preserved. I'm gonna be back. Shalom, shalom. I'm back. All right, all right. So yeah, basically what I was going into. Yeah, I was going into basically these devils exposing themselves. You know, in verses 9 and 10, you know how, hey, then all men shall fear and shall declare the work of power, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. In verse 10, the righteous shall be glad in Yahweh and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. Hey, because these devils being exposed, you know, their plans being exposed, you know, so be aware of Satan's devices, not falling for the bullshit, you know, being preserved from our life is being preserved from fear of the enemy, from the secret counsel of the wicked, you know. Yeah, from the workers of iniquity, yeah, you know. Our life is being preserved from it, you know. Because when you see the trap, you can avoid it. But those that scoff and that talk shit, they're gonna fall into the trap. Because they didn't want to hear us out. You know, that Amos 9:11 time coming. Esau is planning to use the so-called cyber plant, honestly say pandemic event. He's planning to use that to basically push out, push out a plan for basically implementing internet ID, man. Basically, you have to log in to the internet with that internet ID, and it may be connected to the chip. Wouldn't be surprised. And that's Amos 8:11 right here. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not famine of bread, nor thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. Verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east, and they shall run to and fro to seek of the word of Yahweh, and shall not find it. Yep, because you ain't gonna be able to find it and get online, man. Especially they connect that shit to the chip, man. It's game over. Because, well, self-explanatory, man. You're gonna need the chip to get online and shit. You know? Yeah, famine of the word right there, boom. Verse 13, and that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. Why? Because these are those living waters, man. These where this word is compared to living waters and to that bread of life. Verse 14, they that swear by the sin of Samaria. Notice you talking about you 2/3, y'all following in them same footsteps that y'all was walking in before, doing that same old bullshit that y'all was doing before, cause ain't nothing new under the sun. And say, thy God will then liveth in the manner of Beersheba liveth, even they shall fall and never rise up again. Well, y'all was doing the same old bullshit back then, bro. You know what y'all doing now. So y'all gonna fall. Y'all gonna be cut off, y'all gonna fall, and you're not gonna rise up again. Alright, yeah, man. Amos 9 and 10, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. Yep, and that's going into these people that they scoff, and they don't believe, even either in their minds or openly. They don't believe, they scoff. This is gonna actually take them by surprise like a snare, man, like a thief in the night. Proverbs 1 and 20. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. Verse 21, she cried in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttered her words, saying, verse 22, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. How long? How long you simple ass niggas gonna delight in this simple shit, man. This vain shit, don't even mean nothing, don't benefit you in any way, this superficial ass shit don't even benefit you at all. This temporary ass shit benefits you very little and not that much at all. Hey, it was 1 hour 44 seconds when I said talk about that. Hey, Kyle, y'all about to see me outside. The signs, the signs, right there. And people think you're bugged out for saying that, just like they think you're bugged out. You bugged out for bringing out, that the fact that these prophecies they come in the past. The fact that we are living in those times. The fact that the Israelites are who we say they are. The fact that There's so-called hey, there's so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and now you also have Israelites that look like other nations, but they go back to so-called black people, Latinos, and Native Americans, and back to the same 12 tribes, the same 12 men as them. The people will think you're bugged out. Those can't be the people. Be a lot of them be our people. They be the same ones saying that. They was trained to believe that. They was trained to believe that no, no, I'm black, or no, I'm Latino, no, I'm native to the Americas, no, no, and then for the scattered Israelites out there, for example, uh, the Israelites that was scattered among the Irish, man. No, that's a lot of them too. No, I'm Irish. No, I'm Sicilian, etc., right? Because we were scattered all over the place. Basically, whatever byword, people was put under, or whatever bullshit identity that's been placed on our people, they're gonna embrace that and say, no, I'm that, I'm not an Israelite. It really comes down to they don't want to hold themselves to those standards, man. Because the laws, statutes, and commandments apply to who? The Israelites. So they don't hold themselves to them standards because our people, believe that following the laws, statutes, and commandments is hard. It's difficult, man. It's grievous when the laws ain't grievous. The laws are not grievous. Oh, this devil will make it a bitch. But the laws by themselves are not egregious. Because laws are not grievous. That's 1 John in the New Testament. 1 John 5 and 3. The New Testament, the part of the Bible everyone basically says that it basically cancels out the old, which is not true. It actually backs up the Old Testament. The New Testament, including the Lord, Yahushua, the Gospels, that was all prophesied in the Old T. The NT backs up the OT. They complement each other, man. They don't cancel each other out. 1 John 5, 1 John 5, 1 John 5 and 3. For this is the love of power, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. They're not hard in itself. In itself, the commandments are not hard. It's just living under this devil that makes it hard. But hey, scoffers, they don't want to get right because of that. You know they'd rather basically, they'd rather not give up that bullshit. They'd rather they'd rather go back to their bullshit and stay on that bullshit. And the scorners delight in their scorning. You have people that they delight in scorning. They're like fuck that nigga. I ain't gonna listen to that nigga. That'll you know, yeah, man. They delight in it. A lot of them, there's some called trolling people, man. Basically, you have people that enjoy basically doing shit, saying shit or doing shit just to piss someone off. And a lot of them, there's, hey, you have them trolls that try to do that to the prophets, man. They go, they're on the comment boards, not so more now. You had them worse before. You had trolls, you had more of them, and you have them in real life, man. They try to troll you in real life. Scoffers delighting in their, scorners delighting in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge, man. Because at the heart of it, that's what it's about. And you two thirds of these so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners that be like under the speckled bird, looking like the other nations, like to fucking, like, y'all hate knowledge, man. Y'all hate knowledge. Y'all like, man, y'all like, bitch, don't kill my vibe. Y'all, that's basically, that is what mold y'all in. That is, basically, yeah, or mold y'all in. Basically, that is your mindset. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. You know, because y'all want to enjoy this place. Y'all want this place to continue, and y'all want to enjoy this place. Y'all deceive yourselves and been deceived into thinking that this place gonna continue, and that, oh no, it's not gonna end. We continue, keeping on. We can continue with our bullshit. You know, verse 23. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Yo, that's what the prophets been saying, been out there in them streets since the late '60s, since Albo Bivens was out there in them Chicago streets. Which, we believe that, that dude was Elijah and John the Baptist come back, because John the Baptist was Elijah come back. The scriptures show you that. Hey, yeah, preparing that way, it makes sense too. He brought out the essentials, 12 tribe chart and all that. 12 tribe chart, the essentials, right? The milk. Yeah, but we've been out there, it's been that's almost it's been 40 years for sure. It's been 40 years, 40 years. 40 years. Almost yeah, about 40 to 50. About 40 to 50 years, you know. Yeah. Verse 24, because I have called and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. Verse 25, but ye have said not at all my counsel were none of my reproof, none. Which y'all did instead. Laugh, scoff, talk shit, and then went about your day. Marrying and giving in marriage, eating and drinking, like days and on. you know, and stuck in La La Land because y'all stayed in it. Verse 26, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. This is what the Most High Yahweh is going to do. And how is he going to do it? Through his men, who are his prophets, his spokespeople, his spokesmen, his mouth, his mouthpieces on earth, you know. Verse 27, when your fear as desolation and your destruction as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you. So, actually, we gonna scoff at y'all. We gonna scoff at y'all when this happens. We gonna laugh, we gonna mock, we gonna be clowning on y'all. Fucking roasting y'all when that happens. It's gonna be a huge I told you so moment. For real. Real shit. The biggest I told you so moment ever. Verse 28, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. Going into that famine of the word. You know, then they gonna want to know. This truth that they slept on. Then they gonna want to know. They gonna try to get hip to it. But it's no longer gonna be available. You know, they gonna run to and fro. You know, they gonna, they gonna, hey, the Most High Yahweh is not gonna allow any contact between them and him. He's not gonna allow a grace period over, right? A grace period over, a no contact. A it's gonna be like, they can't contact them at all. They ain't gonna be talking to them. They gonna have that. It's gonna be like what? Like they got a fucking restraining order on them. Like they blocked on everything and they got a restraining order on them. Why? Cause they when they had liberty. Verse 29. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yahweh. Because when it was openly available, they scoffed instead. Didn't want to hear it. So now that hey man, hey, you 2/3 was being through from the get go. Y'all being through from the get go. The Most High Yahweh put that spirit of slumber on y'all to sleep on this truth, and then hey, once the shit that we said was gonna happen start happening, y'all gonna try to get hip to it and not gonna be able to. And the Most High Yahweh was bad. For real. Verse 29. Hey, the Most High Yahweh was cold for that. Verse 29. For the, yeah. I just brought that out. Verse 30. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Yo, you despised all of it, Understood not, but despised it. Verse 31, therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. Y'all gonna eat your words, man. Every last one of them. At all. There's a precept that say that every word that every idle word man shall give account. Every idle word. Everything, all that fucking gainsaying shit y'all saying, all that bullshit y'all saying, y'all gonna be held accountable for it. You know. Let me bring out Second Ezra's And that's in the Apocrypha, which they done took out the Bible. Second Ezra's, it was in the original 1611 KJV. Second Ezra's and hold on, I think it's in 13. Then shall they be in pitiful case, those who have abused my ways. Hold on. Yeah, hey, y'all gonna pay, dude. Y'all gonna pay. It may not be in part 13. It may not be. It may not be. It may not be in chapter 13. Salakia. Maybe in 11, dude. Or 9. Or 9. Might be in either. I think it's in chapter 9. Yeah. I'm gonna bring out. Yeah, verse 32, for the turning away goes into this too. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. So, because they think they can go case right now. Second Ezra 9:9. Then shall they be in pitiful case which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. Verse 10. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. Verse 11. And while they have loathed my law, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was ever unto that grace period, understood not, but despised it. Yo, there you go. You know, you didn't understand, you actually hated it. Verse 12. The same must know after death by pain. You know, after you catch the news, that's when you don't realize it. You know, let me get that every idle word scripture. Every idle word, because the shit that you say about about the prophets, scoffing at them, offending his little ones, you're gonna be held accountable for it too. Matthew 12:36. Matthew 12:36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. Verse 37. For by thy words shalt thou be justified, and by thy words shalt thou be condemned. Yep. Every idle word you scoffers wanna say, every idle word gonna be held accountable. You're gonna be held accountable for it, just because you want to say some slick shit behind a dude back, you know, every idle word that men shall speak, even that slick talk behind that slick shit behind behind his back, you know. And he may not hear it, but the Most High hear it. The Most High Yahweh hear you, you know. You know, hey, yeah, you know, yeah. You know, definitely scoffing at, scoffing at them, you know, on the comment boards and or to his face, to the when he's out there on the highways and byways. But you know, every idle word that man shall speak, yo, every idle word that man shall speak. Meaning, you know, yeah, you know, y'all want to say some slick shit behind his back, you know. Yeah, the Most High Yahweh, you know, it gets back to him, you know. Nothing escapes the Most High Yahweh. Got a record of all of it. You know, and this coincide with it. This is what type of shit you scoffers be saying. Second Peter 2, 2 Peter 3:3, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts. Verse 4, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. You know, the type of shit you scoffers will say, well, it was like this back in World War II or some shit like that. It was like that back in the Vietnam days. It was like that back, you know, shit, yeah, back in 2000, you know, et cetera, right? Back in 2012, y'all was saying this shit, or you had people saying this shit back then. You know, basically, you know, yeah, you know, where's the promise of his coming? That's what y'all are saying. For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. Verse 5 though, for this they willingly are ignorant of, by that the word of power of the heavens were of old, and that the earth standing out of the water and in the water. Verse 6, whereby the world was then, that then was being overflowed with water perished. But in verse 7, you know, point coming up, but the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved in the fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. Verse 8, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing. So basically, you know, verse 7, you know, expanding on verse 7 basically means that basically, you know, like how the world back then was prepared by judgment with water, like with that flood. You know, nowadays it's prepared for judgment with fire. You know, verse 8 will be love. Yeah. Telling you why it ain't happened yet. Well, so why it ain't happened yet, huh? They'll be like that too. Why all this ain't happened yet? Well, guess what? And World War II times, even though Vietnam times wasn't like the times that are today, anyways. It's just scoffers saying some dumb shit. Verse 8, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is what Yahweh is 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is one day. Verse 9, Yahweh is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness. Some men they be like, you know, nah, it ain't gonna happen. Not in my generation. Not in my generation. They're always saying that. Not in my generation. Be the same ones all up in them church houses. Be the same ones. But y'all the same ones all up in them church houses singing "Thy Kingdom Come" and all that, the top of your lungs and all that, or all kind of gusts or all kind of, you know, how it be, how it be, all up in the church houses with that zeal, zeal for the Most High, but not according to knowledge. And y'all be the same ones up. Y'all be the same ones, and then be the same ones to say, nah, not in my generation. Because really, y'all don't believe. Your lips draw near. And these people, their lips draw near to me. It's precept that say that. Talking about you tribes, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and the Israelite foreigners that be like under the speckled bird, looking like the other nations. Y'all's lips draw near to them, but your heart is far from meaning your mind. Meaning, the Hebrew word there is loud, meaning mind. And you can see that it's talking about your mind. But it's long suffering to us for who's us, and that's spoken here is speaking of the elect. Not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. Not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance, because he died for who? The elect. He died for the elect. He preserved that remnant. He had that remnant preserved that will not bow to the image of Baal. Modern day version of that is what? The image of the beast in Revelation 13th chapter. The image of the beast, this beast system, man, built in the spitting image of the first beast, which is Rome. You could see America just like Rome. It's just like an updated version of Rome. Yeah, shit, dude. Hold on. I'm thinking. Yeah, what was that? There was a precept that I thought of. There was actually a precept that is good to fit this. Like it would fit these precepts that I've been bringing out. It would actually fit it in my mind. Okay. Let me bring these verses out, because basically, actually, instead of like scoffing at instead of basically making fun of, clowning on basically, not believing in in these prophecies coming to pass when they're literally flying out the book. Instead of that, you know, supposed to actually be woke to already. be hid to it already. Verse 10, but the day of Yahweh will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. What is that talking about? Nukes, man. That great noise and fervent heat. The earth also and the works there during shall be burned up. Why? Because of the nuclear war. But especially, Babylon, USA is going to get hit the hardest. Verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, all manner of persons ought ye to be, and all holy conversations and godliness, basically telling you how you should be, basically, how you should act, because you can't, basically, so you don't be caught lacking. Verse 12, looking for a hastening unto the coming of the day of power, who wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. And the heavens here, symbolic, talking about who's on top, who's on top, who's in heaven right now. But also, the heavens, literally, several meanings to it. Like the heavens could be speaking of the skies, you know, but it could also there's also, the spirit world, where the most high Yahweh, where he's at. He's at, in Yahweh Shai, he's at his right hand. And where the Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly know as JC, he's at his right hand. And the angels, the angels, of course, you have them, and then also, where your soul goes when you die. When you take that dirt nap. When you take that dirt nap and you fall and you receive your judgment. So that's the heavens. There's several meanings to heaven. And also, who's it's meant symbolically, like I said. Who is ruling the world right now? So who's in heaven right now? Who is in a heavenly condition, in a high estate right now? Who's on top of the world, these damn devils. But not but their rulership, their system they set up, they're gonna be taken down. They're gonna actually fall, They're gonna fall. That's why, hey, it's precept they go into that. When Yahweh Shai talk about I beheld Satan fall as lightning. What it's talking about. These devils fall are gonna fall all the way from the top, symbolically, it's being, basically that's symbolic because where lightning do fall from the sky, which is also known as the heavens. And fast too. These devils are falling fast. Falling faster than, our people. Then when our people fell, these devils fall is faster. Yeah. And also it's being that basically the earth is not going to be destroyed, showing you that it's symbolic because who's on the earth dealing with the conditions why these devils is, on top of the world, man. Our people, the other nations, our people, at the bottom. They're at the top of the world, our people at the bottom, you know, as of now. Verse 13, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwells righteousness, a new system for y'all to understand. Verse 14, wherefore, beloved, seeing that you look for such things, be diligent, this telling you basically, how to move, basically. So you don't be cow lacking. That you may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless. yeah. Basically, yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Verse 15, and I count that law and suffering on our Lord's salvation. I'm about to wrap it up. Even as our beloved brother Paul also, according to the wisdom given unto him, have written unto you. Verse 16, also all his epistles speaking in them of these things, which are things hard to be understood. I'm going to get down to the point. Which they that are learned unstable rest, know these scoffers, as they do also the other scriptures unto their own destruction. Verse 17, ye therefore, beloved, seeing ye know these things before, be worried lest ye also be led away with the error of the wicked, fall from your own steadfastness. Those that fall out, man, they was never meant. They was never even in the truth, you know. They tell you that they went out from among us that it may be manifest that they was never a part of us. Yeah. Verse 18, but grow in grace and in the knowledge of our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach. To him be glory both now and forever. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. You know, hey, these prophecies, they popping off, they coming to pass. Hey, the Middle East is being reshaped. The Middle East alliances is being reshaped. You know, you have Turkey that's gonna be on the side of Russia now. That Ezekiel 38 alliance is taking shape. The stage being set. So we know, all these signs is happening, that's being shown, all the signs is being shown. It's showing us what? That the end is basically at the door. Even is even is even at the door. Hey, there's actually a precept. Matthew 24 and 33. Matthew 24 and 33. You get it. Yeah. Oh yeah, that goes into the parable of the fig tree. Yeah. Hey, kind of lines up. Matthew 24 and 32. Now learn a parable of the fig tree when its branches yet tender and put it forth leaves, ye know that summer is not. So it's like basically an analogy right there. Verse 33. So likewise, ye when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door. Yep. Hey, verse 34. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Yo, yeah, so you know that it's real close. And I hope this live was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there. You know, spreading this truth like wildfire. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who look like the other nations, but the Spirit bears witness with our spirit that they're the children of Yahweh Shem Shai, and Shalom to the real sisters out there. You know, shout out to all of y'all. You know, shout out to the elect House of David. Shout out all of y'all. We almost out of here. We're almost out of here. You know, hey, look up what thy redemption is nigh. You know? Hey, when you see these things begin to come pass, according to Luke 21 and 28. And stay strong to the end. You know that them times are gonna get rough. You know, we're gonna get put through the ring. But you know, that's how it's gonna be shown who the elect, you know, then it shall be known who am I chosen. Yeah, verse 13, Matthew 24, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. There you go. Then in Revelation, get this real quick. Revelation 2 and 11. Behold, I come, verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Verse 11, behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Verse 12, him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my power, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my power, and the name of the city of my power, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh out of heaven from my power. And I'll write upon him my new name. It's a great war. Basically, you know, get VIP ticket to the kingdom. Verse 13, he that hath the ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith to the church. All right. All right, you know, with that, you know, I'll wrap it up. Esau, you going down. You heathens, hey, it's a wrap for y'all as well. They never gonna have no more power again. You know, Jacob got next and forever. Hey, Shalom, and Yashrala forever.